So back to sound effects today, but this time I'm needing to create variations of an effect that I've made. So let's just crack right on. Here is the sound effect that I've made, which is similar to the sword hits that I was doing last time, but this has got a bit more depth to it. It's an axe that we're using. So there's a bit of a swoosh, there's hits, and there's a bit of a sort of gory noise in there. It's for when we're actually hitting people. Okay, so I need to create lots of variations of this to put into the game. So the first thing I need to do actually is to take out the whoosh noise, so that we can trigger that separately in the game. So that's the noise that I now need to create variations of. Okay, so what I quite often do is I'll use something like the pitch and formant filters. So if I change this from here, let me move that over. Then I could be changing the pitch down the way. Formant is usually a better indicator. It's not quite as drastic, but I need to automate that so that it's completely random, so that every time I play the noise it comes out slightly differently. Reaper has lots of good tools in it for me to be able to do that. So modulation link, and we're going to use that as an LFO. So an LFO is a low frequency oscillator, which means that it's one of those waveforms that moves a lot slower than the ones that actually make noises, and that means I can use it to change things around. So it's not sitting too bad here actually. I want it free running because I want it to be different every time I hit the play button, and you can see here that it's changing the formant, and it's changing it only from 0 down the way, and that's absolutely fine. I could change that to centered and it'll go up and down the way. So we might try a bit of that so that we get higher pitch as well as lower pitch. So let me play these back a few times and you'll hear the variations. So every time I press play, it's slightly different, which is just exactly what I want, because then we can get the game engine to trigger them randomly so that it's never quite the same twice when you hit something. So I now need to be able to record that as playing lots of times. And again, as you might expect, Reaper has some good tricks to help me do that. So save live output to disk. Axe hit with gore is what I want. That's where I want to put it. And we'll start that, and let's overwrite the old one that I did. Don't you love it when things don't quite happen? Let's just change the file name and we should be good to go. Yeah, okay, so that's it recording now. That sounded like a few different variations that we've got on there, so let's stop the recording and now have a look at it. So let's do that by just creating a new tab and going to find that file, which is here, axe hit with gore 2, pop that in, and this is what it recorded. So now let's have a listen to it. Great, so there's plenty of variation in there. I'm going to take these off. I now need to split that up so that it's in different files, and I can do that with a dynamic split tool, which just senses when the sound starts and splits it all up for me. And then I can choose which ones I want to use. I have another e-tool just to space them out there. So let's have a listen. Okay, so the first one, yeah, definitely. Second one, good one, yeah. Third one's a bit similar to the first one. I think we'll just ditch that. The higher one and the lower one. So actually the fourth one's quite similar to the first as well. So I think I will take these 4. Oops. I think I'll take these 4. Let's get rid of this last bit. Let's take them all and put them on separate tracks so that I can see what size they are. Hey, yeah, good. Okay, and then I can just save each one of these as a separate file, and there's 5 variations of that axe hit just by using a clever bit of programming to vary something randomly means that I don't manually have to create 5 different versions. So yeah, it's automation is a good thing. Nothing over the weekend from me. I'm taking the weekend off, so hopefully I will see you Monday.